There was always the belief that, you know, the SNP were a one-trick pony, if you like. Their issue was all about independence, and it is all about independence. But they managed to carve themselves out of a bit of a role of competence within governing from 2007 through, and nobody really questions that. People will tell you that on the doorstep, that they think there's a level of competence there. So the issue is what would happen to the Labour Party and what would happen to the SNP. You know, I think you'll still have parties like the Conservative Party. I think you'd still have parties like the Lib Dems and the Greens, etc. I think you'd probably see a resurgence of the Labour Party in Scotland. You know, an independent Labour Party in Scotland, and how that would impact on the SNP would be very, very interesting, because the SNP have all factions in it. You know, there are people who are quite close to the Labour Party thinking, there are people who are quite close to the Conservative Party thinking. So whether at some point in time there might be splits away from that party into the more traditional and longer standing parties, that is a question. And a lot of that probably depends upon you know, in 2014, if there's a referendum and if it was a positive outcome, when you then form your first independent government a couple of years after that, who is the party that forms that government, and what kind of fist you make of that in the early years? I think that would be really, really important as to what the political future of political parties looks like in the decades to come. Those first 2 terms probably of an independent Scottish government would be really, really important.